the show that sorts the facts from the fibs. On David Mitchell's team tonight, a comedian who admits to being a huge hypochondriac. Or at least, that's what he thinks he is. But what if it's something worse? Please welcome Joe Lycett. And a guest who called his first tour, Who is Nish Kumar? And his second tour, Nish Kumar is a comedian. Please welcome... He spoilt the introduction, hasn't he? It's Nish Kumar. And on Lee Mack's team tonight, a host of Watchdog who's not only going to be entertaining us tonight, but after the show is going to help me get my PPI back, Nicky Fox. I'm not saying he's posh, but he describes the royal family as new money. It's Miles Jump. And we begin with round one, Home Truths, where our panellists each read out a statement from the card in front of them. To make things harder, they've never seen the card before. They have no idea what they'll be faced with. It's up to the opposing team to sort the fact from the fiction, and Miles is first up this evening.
Whilst on holiday in South Africa, I had a 2-minute conversation with what I thought was my wife, only to discover that a small hippo had wandered into the bedroom.
David's team. What do you make of that?
Miles, describe your wife to us.
Tall, slender, statuesque.
So did the hippo had a very similar voice to your wife?
The hippo was just sort of moving gently around.
They're known for that.
not in especially close proximity.
What was the conversation about, and how did you go 2 minutes?
I'll tell you what the conversation was about. It was about me, and I was doing most of the talking, which obviously contributed to my confusion.
Where, in fact, was your wife?
I don't know where she was. She was just not...
Have you ever seen your wife again?
So, where were you? I'm guessing that this is a safari scenario, am I right?
It was sort of on the outskirts of Cape Town.
Describe the nature of the structure you were in.
Right.
Is it a building? Is it on the 4th floor of a...
Did the hippo have to get in a lift?
OK, well, it's mainly bungalows. The resort is a collection of sort of bungalow buildings, largely A-frame wooden buildings with a kind of thatch roof.
Why were the doors so big a hippo could get in?
Well, it's a small hippo, isn't it?
How small is a small hippo?
Like a George from Rainbow, or...?
Quite big.
So the hippo was only that big?
Yeah.
It's about the size of a Labrador.
Well, let's be clear. Is that its width or its length?
That is its width, as viewed from behind, and I suspect from the front.
This is worse. Your wife's like the back end of a hippo.
This A-frame bungalow has how many rooms in it?
It's got 2 rooms. At one end, there's a big bathroom, and then there's the rest of it is a very big open-plan bedroom, and it has sort of seating area in the middle of it, and it has a bed at the far end, a very robust bed, and...
A bed you could make love to a hippo on?
That is speculation, but I wouldn't bet against it.
OK, we're in the bungalow, OK?
I'm in the ensuite end.
Yes.
OK. And I'd been shaving and then, you know, shouting over my shoulder. And I realised after a while, I'm not getting a lot back here. And I turned round and I saw that I had not been moaning about my career to my wife, but to a baby hippo.
How long was this baby hippo?
Well, I only saw it from the back, but I imagine, statistically, it'd be, what, probably 3 times as long as it was wide?
OK. So broadly, so it was a sort of as long as this desk?
Nobody measures
or
animals by width.
Well, you do.
I saw a massive snake, it was this big.
So what are you going to say? Is he telling the truth?
I think based on the width, it's a lie.
I think that was a panicked reach for width.
On the basis of the panicked reach for width. I think we'll say it's a lie.
You're going to say that's a lie? OK. Yeah. Miles, were you telling the truth or were you telling a lie?
It is a lie.
Yes, it's a lie. Miles didn't mistake his wife for a hippo whilst on holiday. Joe, you're next.
I also went to the same resort and skinned a cheetah. I am wearing it tonight.
At the end of my first driving lesson, my instructor told me I'd done pretty well, but that I didn't need to make the noises of the car engine as I drove along.
Please, team.
OK, so what kind of noises would you make?
I find it very sort of reassuring to make noises in the car because I find it quite stressful driving. So on the first lesson, this is when it started, and I'd just go.
You could replicate that if you change gear, you'd do what you just did there.
What's the reversing around a corner backwards noise?
I need to just get into the character, into the position. I go,
And would you
What's weird about that?
Would you make all the noises? Would you do indicators, for example?
No, let's not be silly.
Just to get to the nitty-gritty.
Yes.
Name of driving instructor, because I remember mine, Norman, and we ate Percy pigs.
I don't actually... Do you know what? I don't... Because I had two, because the first one was a friend of my dad's, and he kept shouting, "Don't panic."
It wasn't Clive Dunn, was it?
I don't know that reference. Who's Clive Dunn?
Clive Dunn played...
Holy...
Clive Dunn played
You've just fallen into the generation gap.
This audience actually oohed the fact that Joe didn't know who Clive... They were like, oh, you piece
Well,
of
you said it
work.
oohed. Perhaps they were accelerating.
So what do you think, then, Lee? What is your team thinking about this?
Nicky, what do we think, then?
I reckon it might be the truth.
You think it's the
Yeah,
truth?
I'd say that. Do you, Miles?
I think just Joe is inherently believable, very trustworthy.
OK, well, we'll say it's the truth.
You're saying it's true. Joe, truth or lie?
It is a lie.
So, our next round is called This Is My, where we bring on a mystery guest who has a close connection to one of our panellists. Now, this week, each of David's team will claim it's them that has the genuine connection to the guest, and it's up to Lee's team to spot who's telling the truth. So please welcome this week's special guest, Amy. So, Joe, what is Amy to you?
This is my friend Amy, and I grossly offended her when I made a less than perfect sculpture of her head.
Nish, how do you know Amy?
This is my friend Amy. We became friends after I found her asleep in a box of volleyballs.
And finally, David, what is your relationship with Amy?
This is Amy. She is the charity shop worker who sold my shoes whilst I was otherwise engaged trying on a pair of cowboy boots.
Lee, where do you want to start?
Nish, remind us again, Nish?
I found her in a box of volleyballs.
First of all, where were you where there was a box of volleyballs?
I was working at a leisure centre just after I left school.
Right.
And Amy was also working there over the summer between school and uni.
Right.
And they sent me to check on the volleyballs.
Well, just check on the volleyballs.
That's a good job from you, bro.
Make sure the volleyballs aren't messing around. Has your manager recently been watching Toy Story?
I believe the technical term was conduct inventory. So I was just
You're
trying
supposed
to make
count
sure.
them.
Yeah, you're supposed to count them. And it turned out that what she was doing was because no one really wanted to play volleyball, she'd found the perfect spot to have a mid-work sleep in.
How big was this box?
It was, like, woman size.
Could she stretch woman size?
Yeah.
You've heard of a volleyball coffin? more volleyballs. Yeah.
So you opened it up and you saw...
A sleeping woman.
Amongst all these volleyballs? How many were there?
I think probably, like, 35.
You see, you've just said to me that this box was woman-sized. Now, the largest woman I've ever seen is still smaller than 35 volleyballs. I've used this as a chat-up line. If a woman says, oh, I feel a bit fat in this, I'll always go, don't be silly, you're less than 35 volleyballs for me. So did you wake her up?
Yes. And so we became friends because then I would also often have a nap
in the volleyballs?
In the volleyballs.
What was her job supposed... What was she supposed to be doing at the time?
Perhaps she was sent to count the volleyballs earlier. Become bored by the monotony of the process. The boss kept... I keep sending people to count the volleyballs and they never come back.
Working at the leisure centre, Nish, what else did your job demand of you?
Basically, all-round dog's body, so I would work on the front desk sometimes.
I think you said all-round ball games.
So everything except rugby.
Yeah.
Bowls, David.
What?
They're not totally spherical in bowls. That's
Are
why
they not?
That's why they curve.
I would say, colloquially, they're still round, though.
Oh, hello. It's all kicking off at Bridge Club.
All right. Okay. Who else would you like to quiz?
OK, Joe. What situation were you in where you were sculpting her head?
I have an office in Birmingham where I live.
That'll do. So, yeah, I totally believe it. I mean, that makes it... You can answer any question you like, I don't mind. You have an office in Birmingham?
Yeah.
But why? Why?
Just to write jokes and be creative in.
So, you went to this office to write jokes...
Yeah.
...and said to your friend, would you like to come along, sit in the corner, and I'll sculpt your head?
I've been looking for a use for all that clay I keep in my office.
Had you just been watching a Lionel Richie video? Hello? Oh. So, did you know how to do this?
No. But, yeah, I thought practice makes perfect, so I called Amy and...
How long did you spend doing it?
Maybe an hour or so.
Weren't you tempted to just make it really soft, get her face, push it into it, then do the back of her head, and then go, well, at least I've got a mould.
You said she was offended by this sculpture.
Yes, she was offended.
What did you end up with?
It didn't look like her.
What did it look like?
It looked more like Ainsley Harriott.
OK. Now, what about David? I'm looking forward to this. What was it you claimed, David?
That Amy is the charity shop worker.
That's right.
Oh, yes.
Who sold my shoes whilst I was otherwise engaged trying on a pair of cowboy boots.
Can you talk us through the incident, please?
Well, I was in the charity shop.
Which charity shop?
It was a Marie Curie charity shop near where I live.
OK. So I'm setting the scene before this. You're at home, you're thinking, it's about time I got myself some cowboy boots. I'm not willing to commit to a new pair in case I go off the idea.
Just on the very slightest off chance that they don't turn out to suit me and my personality.
Cowboy boots, I'll be honest with you, don't particularly appeal to me aesthetically.
Wow. That surprises
I don't think
me.
they go with what I like to call my style.
Right. Well, how would you describe that style, David?
I think my style is indescribable.
Oh, no, I could describe it.
I think it's best left undescribed.
OK.
I wasn't sitting at home plotting the purchase of some cowboy boots.
No.
I was pottering around near my house, and I saw the Marie Curie shop, and I saw in the window what looked like a nice selection of second-hand novels.
Right.
And I went in, and it wasn't a nice selection of second-hand novels. It was all Ken Follett crap. But I did notice the array of shoes, and I tend to take my shoes off at home and maybe wear slippers or socks. I don't want this to get too sexy. And so... I
need my inhaler.
So what I vaguely was on the lookout for was a pair of everyday, easy-to-put-on, non-lacing shoes that I could keep by the back door in case I needed to pop into the garden for some gardening.
But you said you'd taken some of your shoes to the charity shop.
I was... I was wearing shoes.
So what, you decided take them off in the shop and hand them to her?
When you go shoe shopping, do you go barefoot? Take you seriously.
No. When I take shoes,
keep me waiting.
When I take shoes to the shoe rider shop, I choose shoes that I no longer want. I don't wander around and then go, well, do you know what? You can have these if you want. Why would you do that? You take them ready to give.
I wasn't. It was not my plan.
Rob, can I just say, Rob, you're the only person in the whole of the United Kingdom watching this that isn't following this story.
Well, he said he took off his shoes.
Why do you think he took the shoes off?
To try the other one.
To try the cowboy shoes on.
Oh. Right, sorry. Well, David, I owe you an apology. There you are in the shop.
Yeah. I'm in the shop and I spot these cowboy boots, and to me, they look sort of quite loose and easy to slip on.
What length? Not width, length.
I'd say that long.
About that, so they're coming up to just below the knee?
They're not, you know...
How tall are you, Rob? They're not below...
For me, they'd be thigh length.
Can't see over these.
I would say they're, for a cowboy, they're shortish. But
leather or suede?
But they're not ankle boots.
Leather or suede?
Leather. And with a sort of bit of, I don't know the technical shoe terms, but sort of like a bit of crenellation sort of flapping on them. I'm just going to have to use the terminology of the medieval castle. It's the only way I have of describing it. Anyway, they look like...
So you saw them? You saw them?
Yeah, I saw them.
OK.
So I thought, you know, I'll try them on.
Yeah.
But they were slightly harder to get on than I imagined.
People in the shop, I imagine, were going, why is David Mitchell trying on cowboy boots?
The shop wasn't as packed as you're imagining. In fact, I thought myself to be the only customer there.
Right.
I was soon disabused of that notion.
When did you notice that your own shoes had been sold?
I think, well, I remember I walked to the back of the shop in the cowboy boots, restraining an urge to walk like John Wayne. And when I came back towards the shoe area, I noticed that my shoes weren't there.
And did you see who'd bought them?
I didn't, no.
I'm picturing a scene where you walk out the shop and you walk home, and then a few minutes later, a cowboy goes up to the counter and says, excuse me, I was just trying on a pair, and then behind him a clown, and then a sailor. And this just goes on all day, round and round.
Yeah. David, I don't know you. I've just got to know you today, and I admire you very much. But what I know of you from watching you on TV, the cowboy boots, it's just... I can't buy it. I can't imagine you'd even try them on.
Well, in which case, then you should say that I'm lying.
I might do.
So, we need an answer. Lee's team. Is Amy Joe's miffed model, Nish's sleepy sidekick, or David's sneaky shoe seller?
I'm more inclined to believe Nish myself.
You believe Nish?
Yeah.
Because?
Because, I don't know, I just think Amy and Nish look like they could be really good mates.
Miles, you think...
Well, I was looking at her very closely. While Joe was talking about sculpting her, she looked quite icy about the whole thing.
Wow.
And, of course, she was very offended in the stories, but during David's story, she looked, I mean, understandably baffled.
I think it might be Joe, actually. What do you think?
Well, I'm beginning to think. I mean, it doesn't even matter what I think. I mean, your own... I mean, my job really is to agree with you, Lee. I mean, you are a man...
Are we trying to reenact Dad's Army here?
Do you think that's wise, sir? I think... I think Nish is telling the truth.
You think Nish is telling the truth? You think Nish is telling the truth? Right, in that case, I'll go with what my team say.
You're saying it's Nish?
No, I'm overruling. I'm going with Joe.
Are you seriously?
I feel it's Joe.
All right. Amy, would you please reveal your true identity?
I'm Amy and I'm Joe's friend.
Oh!
Here This is the sculpture that Joe... Oh, good Lord. This is the sculpture. Get ready for this. You will never, in your lifetime, witness a worse sculpture than this. Poor woman. Yes, Amy is Joe's miffed model. Thank you very much, Amy.
Thank you.
Which brings us to our final round, Quickfire Lies, and we start with... It's Nikki.
Right. I love gravy so much that I freeze it into ice lollies to suck in the summertime.
David.
You maniac.
What sort of gravy? Beef, chicken or vegetable?
Beef gravy would be my gravy of choice.
Do you only make lollies out of the beef gravy?
If I'm desperate...
Yeah, you do sound desperate.
I might possibly choose another gravy.
Do you use granules?
I try and avoid granules, because I think if you're going to have a gravy ice lolly, you might as well do a posh one.
Yeah.
And everybody thinks it's strange. Yeah, everyone thinks it's strange.
Do you think it's strange?
No, because I think if I made you one, you suck that gravy lolly.
Need the inhaler again?
Yeah.
You suck that gravy lolly and you'll be like, Nikki...
There's the slogan right there. It markets itself. You suck that gravy lolly.
So, David, what are you going to say? Is this the truth, or is Nikki telling a lie?
What do you think?
I think it's true.
You think it's true?
I think she's off her nut. And I think she's made a gravy lolly.
I think it's a lie because I think... No, I can't believe I'm having to justify this. It's a gravy lolly. I think it's a lie.
I think overall, I think it's a lie.
I think it's a lie.
So,
OK.
Yeah.
Nikki, was it the truth or was it a lie?
It is, in fact, a lie. But I'm glad to believe it.
Yes, it's a lie. Nikki doesn't freeze gravy to use as ice lollies. Next. It's Lee.
On a recent train journey under cover of darkness in a tunnel, I secretly switched bananas with the stranger opposite because his looked better than mine.
Hey.
So, why was there no lighting in this train? Were you perhaps travelling in the 1870s?
Because it was daytime, and in daytime, they don't turn the lights on in a train.
What? So they were unaware of the tunnel on their route?
The tunnel was so brief and so quick, they didn't bother.
So it was a very brief, so it's basically like an extended bridge?
It was a shortcut.
So it was a very quick tunnel, but
very
nevertheless
quick tunnel.
you had time to swap
say
bananas.
No more than 5 seconds.
Can you demonstrate how you did it?
Yeah. I had my banana, and I was looking at it thinking, you know, when yours is just a bit... It's not... I like them really yellow. I don't like that bit where they're just starting to go a little bit black.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But it was close enough where I thought, given an opportunity, I reckon I could swap that banana, because he was reading his paper. But he's not concentrating on that banana. He hasn't fully engaged with the colour.
So he was reading his paper.
Yeah.
So he's holding a newspaper with 2 hands, and then in one of the hands he also had a banana.
No, it was on the table in front of... Have you been on a train recently?
The point is, he wasn't holding the banana.
I'm not that bold.
No, fine.
I'm not that bold. That would have been awkward in the darkness. Hey, what's going on? What's going on? Hey, what's going on? And then the lights come on and I go... Mine was sitting on the table, his was sitting on the table.
OK, and you saw the 2 bananas. Yours has gone a bit manky. His is pristine.
Just fractional.
Just on the turn.
Just enough that I could get away with swapping it.
So it's plausible that he might think, oh, I thought this banana was fresher than this.
But it was like a film.
It's been 14 seconds later. Maybe it's just turned.
Did you have any reading materials, or were you just sat...
Don't mock me, you know I can't read. I was simply entertaining myself, as ever, with my Etch-a-Sketch. And I remember thinking... I'm looking at it, he's not looked at that banana once. That's wasted on him, but that's irritating me. So, and I just thought, like that, put it back in its case, I'm very protective of it. And I thought, could I? And I was tempted to do it. I thought, no, I'll never get away with this. And then suddenly, it was pitch black.
I'm struggling to envision a tunnel that takes 5 seconds to get through, but is...
Well, do you know those really long tunnels?
Yeah.
Imagine one of them, but really short.
But that renders the whole carriage, it just complete blackout.
Yeah.
Well, you know, all I could say, this is one important factor you're missing. Bright sunshine, eye adjustment.
Because the effect of the bright sunlight directly on your eyes...
Did I not mention how bright it was?
Very, very bright.
Oh, it was bright. I can't help thinking he wasn't reading that paper, he was shielding him. In fact, the banana was so bright, I think the bananas actually grew on the train.
Yeah. It's a moment of complete blackness.
Black!
You're almost blinded in this blackness.
Blinded. You know, it was so dark. You know when it's so dark, you think, God, it's dark, I could nick a banana.
But that's my whole point. How did you manage to put your hand on his banana to be so... I mean, you must have rummaged around.
No, I didn't rummage. Picture the scene. The Etch-a-Sketch is away. He's behind his paper. And I'm looking, and his banana's definitely reachable, and he's not looking, and it's there. And even before we go through the tunnel, I'm tempted. I'm going, could I? No. Could I? No, there's no one looking here. There's no one looking. And I'm so close to making that decision. Yeah. It goes black. Get it. Get it. Go. There she goes. And I'll never forget his face. I will never forget his face. He literally... It made a bit of a noise, a bit of a kerfuffle, and the lights came, and he literally went... I knew I'd got away with it.
So what do you think, David?
What do you think?
Absolute nonsense.
All right.
What do you
Just
think?
listen. Give me another go. It was a pomegranate on a rickshaw.
I mean, it's a very, very rich, complete picture that Lee has painted.
Yes.
But I don't think he... I simply don't think he would
Grapefruit in a
steal
brothel?
someone else's banana.
I think he looks low on potassium as well.
Yeah.
So, for you, it is a lie. Lee, were you... This is everybody's on tenterhooks to find out. Were you telling the truth? Or was it maybe a lie?
What do we think, Tim?
No. This is the one where you know the answer and you say...
Oh, I see. In that case, it's a lie.
Yes. Amazingly, it's a lie. Lee didn't secretly switch bananas with a stranger on the train. Well, that noise signals time is up. It's the end of the show. I can reveal that David's team have won by 4 points to 1. Thank you for watching. Good night.